Hey, this is Coach Wheeler, and today I want to talk about relationships and how to find the right person. In a previous video I did on how to be the right person in when looking for love and in relationships, and how to, there's one about how do I keep my man, how do I keep him interested, and it was about being the truest version of yourself. And today is about how to find the right person and give yourself a chance of finding something long lasting. So this is for people that are single or people maybe that are dating. It's how to look and try and find the right person, because that is very tricky and hopefully lead to love and something long term and longer lasting. So in the video I talk about how to be the right person. It's very important, and this is very critical in today's tip and advice, is the same thing. Is about how to be the truest version of yourself. And with that is sitting down with yourself and being very critical, being very honest about who you are. So look at your values, your principles, the foundations of your character, and then really being quite brutal with yourself about who you are, what you want and what you don't want, what you will accept and what you won't accept, because those things are very important. And I'll give you a very easy example. Let's say you're a non-smoker and you meet someone who is a social smoker. So generally they don't smoke, but they smoke once in a while. Maybe they go out and have a drink. When they're socializing, they'll have a cigarette. And it's not a problem, because they might only socialize every now and then, and they might not even socialize with you. So it doesn't really become a problem. But if smoking for you is a problem, trying to overcome that at the beginning, it's never going to work, because it's always going to be a niggle. It's always going to be there. And if they try to give up or cut back for you, it will cause tension, in an argument. Well, I'm trying to give up smoking for you. And then you might even feel guilty that they're trying to do it for you. And it's like, well, if they really want to do it, I want you to do it, but I don't want to do it. So do you see what I'm saying? It's about little things. Now, they're habits and they're things that people do, but it's very important to understand them and understand yourself and what you'll do. It's the same with your character habits, your character traits. If you're really shy and you're quite a reserved, quiet person, then maybe the opposite might attract. You need someone that's a little bit more adventurous and outgoing and a bit more talkative. Then you two can bounce off it. You might be the listener and they might be the talker. And then when they're ready to swatch over, you can complement each other. But if they're too loud and too crazy and in your face and like the party person and they want to it'll be too much for you. You might then reverse into your shell and be this quiet, timid person in the background. The same as if someone who is shy and timid as well. If you're both shy and timid, that might not work. So it's about being really critical with yourself, being honest, and being a little bit of a detective to find out about that person, who they are, what their characters are. And what I mean by that is sometimes we put on a mask. We go out for a night out, we go for a party, we have a work do, we have a social with the lads. I can remember back in the day, you get the old Hugo Boss on, bit of the poor hom, do some press ups, get your hair cut, off you go. Let's go in the pool. And you're trying to find love or trying to find someone. But you're not a true representation of yourself, because that's not who you are all the time. So try to get through that and discover the person on the other side of the image, because unless you own a bar or you're a nightclub owner and you live in those environments, that's not who you want to attract. Because if you live in that world, then to find someone from that world is very important too. So that's the other part of it. Look at things that you like to do and maybe do more of that and meet someone who frequents those places. Like if you're into cars and you go to a Formula One race, or you go to a stock car race or a drag race or a rally event, or some of those things you go to, if you get chatting to someone there, you've already got that common interest, a hobby, a sport, the gym, all of those things. But look past that, find out more about them, be a little bit of a detective. And also another thing to put on top of that about when you're looking for that person, the tips on or the things to look at about their character and how that aligns with you. It's very important to this. It's relevant to you as your character and what you need. So to be very critical of that, and also show bits about you that in the past maybe people haven't liked. So maybe a habit that you've got, or a hobby that you have, or some little thing that you do, that a quirk that you have that has put other people off. And you might think to yourself, well, if I tell them that, they're going to run a mile. Good, let them run a mile. They're not the people for you. The people that are not meant for you, you don't want them. They're the wrong person. Because in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, those things that don't ingratiate with you, those things that you do have as little quirks will annoy them. You know, when it's true love, and when if you're lucky enough to find that, those things are the things that we love, that we're attracted to. So maybe represent them at the beginning, one or two. I don't mean get your CV out and line up and say, well, I do this, I do that, and then list everything, because that'll just overwhelm anyone. That'll be too much for anyone to accept. But maybe drip feed it in, a little comment here, a little thing there. Ask a tricky question. Almost as a paradoxical intention, you try to do the opposite of something you want to get over. So it's the same with trying to attract love. It's like that saying says, if you chase that, love is like a butterfly. If you chase it and go after it, you'll never catch it. If you sit still in the garden, in amongst the flowers, the chances are it will come and land on you. So that's the same thing. Don't chase it too much, and almost try and push it away. Gently push it away. Don't be a dickhead and shout and try and put them off, but try and gently give them a little bit of obstruction. That way, if they're really genuine, they will keep trying. And you've got to be careful of the players and the people that are just after one thing, and you'll know them because they just say yes and agree to everything and just keep going and keep going. And you almost think, well, this is going too well. That doesn't mean to say true love won't go too well, but if you push and a little bit of resistance, the genuine people will keep trying. They'll think, that's okay, that's cool, we can get past that. I'm still interested, I still like you. And you want them to like the truest version of you. Not necessarily the best, the most glitzy, the most glamorous version of you, the truest version of you, the realist version of you, because that's who you really are. You know, if you're a person that's in your joggers and your sweats and all that lot, and you meet someone when you're down at the shop and think, well, I didn't look my best and my makeup was all over the place and I hadn't had a shave and whatever, then if they like you in that normal moment, you can think, well, that's the truest version of me. Maybe that's a good time to chat to someone. Open up those avenues and look at those things that you really want, that you really need, that are important to you, and don't let go of them. Be disciplined. Sometimes when we're single, we can be a little bit desperate. You know, we can be lonely. You think, oh, I've been single for ages. I need a date. I just need that feminine touch. I just need a conversation with a man. Not for me. I'm talking as if you're a woman, you know. But where you need that attention from the opposite sex. But don't be desperate, because in your moments of desperation, you will attract the wrong person, and you'll also give off the wrong signals. The sharks and the hunters and the predators will look and think, well, they're weak and vulnerable, and I'll jump on them. And you don't want that. So try and always maintain a level of composure, discipline, be true to yourself, the truest version of yourself, and do a little bit of digging, a little bit of be like Sherlock Holmes. Get in there and try and find the clues of who they really are. Because look, at the beginning, we're always going to be a bit more open, a bit more gregarious, but as the dates progress, try to dig a little bit more. And that will help you get closer to finding someone that's important for you. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You know, I'm talking from experience, from years of experience, and obviously the coaching I do, my one-to-one sessions, and a lot of my relationship stuff that I do, and all the stuff that I've learned, the strategies of logotherapy and choice theory and all that kind of stuff. So I have a lot more knowledge on that. But even at any age, you can learn these skills. These tips will help you to ingratiate them. So learn them, understand them, and ingratiate them in your character to be the truest version of you, and you stand a better chance of finding the right person. Obviously there has to be attraction and love and those nice things and but these tips will help you pinpoint those things that later on can be a problem, because if you don't face them now, later on it'll be a nightmare. So I hope this has helped. Look forward to more tips and advice from Coach Wheeler. Like and subscribe the page. Tell a friend. If you need any sessions or any work, give me a call, DM me, and leave a comment in the box. I'm always interested for feedback and interaction. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great day. Peace.